Hey guys, it's Saturday, October the 11th, I think. Anyway, I put new front tires on the little wagon last night. The tire on this side, it's in the barn. I'll show it to you in a minute. It had had enough of life, so it let go, and I decided I wanted to go ahead and replace both tires on the front. The tire that was on that side was still in one piece, but looking at it, it had some bulges in some weird places, and I believe it was getting ready to join its counterpart. So anyway, these are a little bit of a pain to get tires for, because unfortunately both of those wagons that I dragged home last fall had 14-inch tires on it. So those are bias ply 14-inch trailer tires. So I'm gonna give those a try. Hi, cat. Anyway, so that was how I started yesterday evening. I didn't film any of this. But we come over here to the barn. There's another cat. Over here, you see I have the chaffer and the sieve out of the gleaner. And do I have a flashlight? Ah, yes I do. Okay, I fired this thing up last night, and I still had that banging noise that I was trying to fix when I replaced the clean grain elevator chain. Well, I figured out what that is. Up here, this screen is supposed to be up here, and it's not. It is broken back to about here, and it is hanging down and actually getting caught by the clean grain auger. And when it does that, it binds everything up, and then so yeah, I noticed that it was doing it when the shoe would move forward, but I didn't even know that that screen was in there. There is this piece was over top of it, and I posted a question about it this morning on the Alice Chalmers forum, because I can't find anything about that in my operator's manual. And one of the guys on there said that the screen that normally you would run without that plate in there, and that screen is for getting fines and small foreign material out of your grain sample. So that will drop those into the tailings, and then the door on the tailings elevator has that perforated cover, so that can push those out. So he said for wheat or small grains you would want that in, but for corn or soybeans we want it out. So now that I know that that's like that, I can do that. And now I have to figure out how I'm going to fix that, because I'm not wanting to pull the shoe out if I don't absolutely have to. But that is not going to be fun to work on up inside there. So I think I've got a plan. I don't know if it's a good plan. We'll get to that after a while. Okay, so my initial plan to work on this, I was going to try to fix that just climbing in through back here, but I can't reach it. I can't get clamps in there to do what I need to do. So what I think I'm going to try, the shoe is suspended by that link and that link on each side. So I'm going to remove all the chains. I'm going to unbolt the eccentrics, and I'm going to unbolt the caps on the links. And then this shaft right here that the eccentrics work on, that shaft in theory will come out, but I don't know in practice if I'll actually be able to get that out or not. So what I'm going to try to do is just slide this back as far as I can, and basically until that rod gets to here, if I can get it that far, or at least get it back far enough to where I can try to work on that shaft and get that out. If I can get that out, then I can pull the shoe all the way out of the combine, and then I can work on it where it's gonna be less miserable. But if I can get it back behind here, then I think I may be able to get access to it, but I may still not. I may have to get that shaft out. But first I got to get everything unhooked and get all the chains off, and then we'll reassess once we get that far. Okay, so I've gotten it back this far. I was hoping that I'd be able to work on this with it still in the combine without having to pull it all the way out, but I'm not going to fit in there and be able to get anything accomplished. So the last thing that's holding it in is this shaft. This is what it hangs from off of these in the front, and then the eccentric connecting links also attached to that. That shaft is very stuck. I've put some heat on it. I have not gotten it to move. It is keyed into this hub right here, so I can't rotate on it at all. So the other side, the shaft is actually loose in the hub over there. And it does have a set screw that I've got loose right there. But I think what I'm going to do, because this is just 7/8 rod, I'm going to call Alro tomorrow and order a piece of 7/8 cold rolled. I'm just going to cut this off here and cut it off somewhere in there so that I can slide it out the other side. And then I can get this out of here, because I realized that I need it out to work on it. I also need it out because there's a little bit of timing magic going on here, but I don't know which video you'll see first. I'm working on getting wheat planted here at my house, and I need to move the combine to get the drill out. I also need to clear all the junk off of there, because, you know, I'm like Ross the Oliver man. Every flat surface becomes a workbench. And so to move the combine, I don't really want that just hanging out back here to go and move the combine. I feel like bad things will happen if I try to do that. So I'm going to cut that shaft off and drag this out the rest of the way, and we'll pick this back up when I get this over to the shop. Okay, so we're over in the shop. Got this upside down. I can see a little better, pop this out, just how far back that is broken loose. Been cleaning on that a little bit, and I have cut a piece that I'm going to lay in here. That's just a piece of sheet metal that I had. Anyway, I've drilled holes in this. I'm going to clamp this in and start at the back and fill in, I'll just plug weld all these holes in until I get to the front. And then once I get everything welded up around here. I'm going to flip this over and weld through the screen from the other side to hold this side to the patch. I do need to do a little patching on the other side. See, we've got crack starting over there too, so because it's in the corner, I will probably grind that out and just weld the piece, and then on the other side, on the bottom side, then bend a piece to lay in that corner and weld around it to try to reinforce that. So that's my plan. Okay, so I've got my inner work, I think, as done as it's going to get. I was going to try to reinforce that side a little bit more, but there's not a lot of room to do it and still get the flat sheet in there. So I'm going to leave it the way it is for now and see how it does. But what I've got left to do is deal with this area here. This side would have been out. Anyway, this is where this shaft would have been what the shoe hangs from in the combine, and then this also drives it back and forth. And as you can see, that plate is not in very good shape. This here also is not very good. We got some cracks there, got a crack going there, another crack starting right there. So what I think I'm gonna do, because I don't think I have any real clearance issues as far as going bigger, I think I'm gonna try to find a piece of 1/8 inch plate around here and cut a bigger plate, so maybe come out farther to get into some better metal and try to put this back together, at least do something better than this. So anyway, that's hopefully, and then I've got the new piece of shaft, or piece of steel that I can make a new shaft out of. So hopefully we can get that done and get this project knocked out and be done with this soon. Okay, so it's been several days since I've really worked on this. We've been out of town for not quite a week, but anyway, I've got this, I think, pretty well buttoned back up. Got the screen, I think, welded back together about as good as I'm gonna get it. It seems to be solid. I remade this plate. What did I do with the old one? Here it is. Here's what's part of what's left of the old one. So you can see I made the new one quite larger, or quite a bit larger, sorry, to deal with some cracks that were in the shoe assembly. Try to spread that load out. Also, this plate is a little bit thicker because that's the stock that I was able to get. This was actually, I thought it was 1/8 inch. It's actually closer to 3/16. I think it's, I don't remember if it's 7 or 8 gauge, but either way, that's a piece of 1/4 because that's what I had easily available. I did cut a new shaft. So yeah, I've got the sieve and the chamfer in this right now. The sieve is just in there loosely. It's not in tight right now. Mainly so that I could dry fit everything and try to make sure I had the shaft the right width and wasn't pinching anything together. But anyway, we'll probably come back tomorrow and try to get this back in the combine and maybe try to get the head mounted too. Okay, so I believe I am ready to give this thing a try. I think everything's all back together. Just a little bit of throttle, pull the choke. Good job. Well, I'll tell you what, seeing it with the head on is a sight for sore eyes. I've been waiting for this for a long time now. So anyway, I think we're about as ready as we're gonna get. So I'm gonna wrap this video up here. And the next time you see me, hopefully we'll be shelling corn. So yeah, it's been a long process. Hopefully everything holds together. So anyway, if you're still here, I thank you all for watching, and hope you all have a good one, and wish us luck. Thanks again.